Coming straight out of Ecamm. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. It's a jam with the Ecamm fam. This is a jam with the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam.
Hold it, stop the music!
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen!
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Can I please have your attention?
Now it's showtime. Are you ready? Are you ready for start time?
Let's find out. Ready, let's go!
Ooh, we finally got the timing. Hello, hello. Hey, Paul. Hey, everyone out there watching. Welcome to Office Hours. Oh, Paul, I'm not hearing you. You've muted yourself. At least Ecamm is telling me that you've muted yourself. Well, Paul
Sorry about that.
himself. There he is. There he is. Oh, we're going to have all the
Have you
tech issues
recovered?
today, I feel it. Okay, Paul, say something. I think
Now
you're
I
here.
can't hear you.
Uh-oh, you can't hear me? I'm here.
Now I hear you.
Okay, good.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
It's going to be one of those days.
It's gonna be one of those days. I was gonna open this stream by saying, who is sick of me yet? I feel like I've been on camera way too much, or behind the scenes way too much. But you all keep showing up, so hey to everyone. We have Dan, we have Parker, we have Hank hanging out, Val's here. I see Luis. There was a kids TV show when I was growing up that was like, I see Doc and I see Katie.
Romper Room.
Romper Room. There we go. Everyone helping me. Dave's here.
I've just
The
dated
whole
myself.
Romper Room is here. Tatiana's here. The name of this show is just Office Hours, so we don't have a ton prepped. We will stay for a bit to answer questions, and if there are no questions, then we'll go backstage and continue answering questions in the community and in other places. But
We'll go take a nap.
exactly, we'll go take a nap. I figured maybe we could kick it off by saying that we just wrapped up Leap into Live Selling, which was our 2-day virtual conference. We do this event every single year. This year we did complete focus on live selling, live shopping, shoppable video, I was saying to Doc, all the ways to make the money shmoney. I think that's what Caleb had called it. Tatiana's laughing at my Romper Room. Yeah, you're welcome. All of the retro references for you here on Office Hours.
Miss Nancy.
See? Yeah, you remember more than me. I couldn't tell you the names of anyone else. I just always was like, maybe they'll say my name, and I don't think that they ever did. I have a common name. Did they ever say your name, Paul?
Yeah, they did.
They did? There were Pauls. I don't think there were any Katies that I ever saw. So we finished our 2-day virtual conference. It was awesome. If you missed it and are now sitting at your desk crying, that's it. You missed it. Sorry. Val was doing yoga. Paul was shoving people back and forth in the rows. There was a lot of no, just kidding. You can absolutely still get replay passes. They're only $10, and they actually give you access to the whole portal filled with all of the Leap sessions. I think we're like, at this point, once we finish uploading these ones, I want to say we're at like 200 videos or some, amazing amount of video content. So if you're missing some
Lots
stuff,
of info.
a lot of catch up to do.
Yep.
We're going to make Paul
4
go through all
years.
200 hours so that we make sure it's just amazing content for you. We'll see you later, Paul. We'll see you in 200 hours.
My
or so.
list is filling up.
Yeah, your list is filling up. But yeah, you'll have to. I saw a couple people asking in the community where to get replay passes and how to get replay passes and when. So the links are available all up in the community, or you can just email me directly if you're really having a hard time finding it. And we will have all of those videos ready for you by May 10th, probably earlier, but we've set ourselves a line in the sand of May 10th to upload everything and make sure everything is easy to flow through. The profits from the event what allowed Paul to get a haircut. Yes, you're directly supporting Paul's haircuts with all of these events.
Yes,
exactly.
I finally decided my beard was long enough that I could kind of trim it up the way that I wanted it. So
Yeah, there you go.
I showed up clean shaven today.
In between watching all of those sessions, Paul was just, getting his look on. All right, Tatiana has a question. Is there a way? I have Doc here too, so when I answer these questions wrong, it's going to be great to get the help. Hi, Katie and Paul. Is there a way to grab and move multiple text overlays with the intent of moving them all at the same time or on the scene, or is only option one at a time, or is the only option one at a time? Wow, reading is not my thing today. Doc, can you move? Yeah, Doc's shaking his head. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can. Just shift click.
Shift click. There you go. Shift click over to Tatiana. You can see that I don't do a
think
lot
it's
of that
shift.
kind of stuff because I have people that design all this stuff for me. So sorry. I love it. Val says that you're doing a fantastic job, Paul, moderating. I know everyone always laughs like, who's going to moderate office hours? Everyone is just wild and crazy over there in the chat because Paul's hanging out here on camera with me. I love it. Hey, Maggie, thanks for hanging out. All right, well, I have a bunch of you. I figured we could feel free to throw any questions you want into the chat. We will stop ourselves and move along in there. But I figured I would jump over here into our screen share mode and show you just some of the spaces and places where you can find stuff. So
I was actually going to
Go for it, Paul.
throw a quickie out there.
Yeah.
A question that I have been getting people texting me frequently is, the whole thing with the Q colon and why we do that. Some people said, well, there's only like 5 or 6 people in the chat. Why are you making a big fuss about the Q colon? It's because we have new people coming in that don't know that we use Q colon frequently.
Yeah, there's not always 5 people in the chat.
And if I let you get out of the habit, and then we suddenly have 100 people in the chat or 50 people in the chat, and you don't use Q colon, it's going to be a problem. So that's why I keep encouraging you, even though there's not a lot of people in chat frequently, to use the Q colon to keep that habit moving and teach the new people.
Yeah, absolutely. And here, if you Doc says it's the same reason why you use turn signals. Good etiquette.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to jump into live demo mode for a second.
I think I've seen that person on a poster in the post office before. The one with the hat on.
The one with the hat on. Yes, I've seen that guy. All right, so here is our comment window. Look at this for the visually impaired. I'm going to block us for a second here. Right? So like, there's not a ton of you on right now, but enough. And so if we wanted to do a search, we would come up here and hit the Q colon, right? And then these 3 people, well, technically 2 since Paul is just helping us, but these 2 people have official questions, right? So again, in here, Tatiana, we might have to demonstrate this for you. In here, we are able to see all of the comments and, all of the questions that come in. So if there were 500 of you watching, like there sometimes are when Ken and Glenn are doing their monthly Q&A, it's just much easier to be able to find everything and not miss it. Because they may just be searching only in here. So it's possible that a host, whether it's an Ecamm show or otherwise, it may only be seeing your questions. Louise ducked in. That's not a question. That's not a question, Louise. All right, sliding this over and jumping. Actually, I guess we could stay in live demo mode here for folks. But, okay, Doc, Tatiana says that the shift plus click is not working for her. Oh, Doc said group them. I lied. Someone said, I thought you said shift plus click. Oh,
I
Paul.
said, I think it was me. I lied.
Paul
That's
lied.
why
We
Doc's
don't want to
here.
group them. Tatiana, you know, we're not winning today.
I was over here trying to test that.
You can shift click them in the overlay panel. All right, let's try it. Shift. Look, I don't have like hardly any. Let's make some text overlays. Let's make some.
I know that's what I'm doing
Test.
in preview mode.
Test. Oh, that just changed it. Oh, there, no. We're good. We are making. Hello there. All right. Okay, so now we have 3 and we want to move them. So we're doing shift, click, click, click.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Nope. Nope, we lied. That lets you move them together in the overlays panel, it looks like, but not on the screen.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember how we group them. How do we group them in Doc? These are things
You
I
have to
never
put them
do.
in a folder.
Oh, I have to put them in a folder. All right, so let's make a new folder. Let's call this. Okay.
I don't know if that's going to be the easiest thing for you, if that's going to get you where you want to be, Tatiana, but that's because sometimes grouping them works, and then sometimes, grouping them doesn't really.
All right, so I shift click those and I threw them into this folder. And then I can move them? No, still no. And then how do I group them?
You fold them into or
There we
move
go. You
with
got to
the
click this
items
little,
in-
yeah.
There we go. Now you
I'm
got.
learning
yeah,
on the
click
fly. This is one
little-
of those features that got rolled out that I never used. So this is really good at pushing me. Here's this
Click
link
the link.
overlay group. See, look at that. Look at that. We did it. We did it. So you want to create a folder, throw all of the overlays you want to group into that folder. You can shift click to collect them over here in the overlays panel and throw them onto the same folder. And then you can move them all wherever you want them to be. And then you can hide the whole folder. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Doc. Doc's playing videos in the background. All right, let me go over here to just make sure I'm not missing any comments or questions over here. Woo-doo. Yay, Tatiana's happy. We did it. We did it. Val's like, click the link, Katie. What the heck? All right. Add the overlay. So everyone is helping each other, which is what makes this group so great. Dave,
Let's see if
what
this
is it that you
works.
don't know what that is? Sorry to leap into live selling. Is that what you're asking about? Let us know, and then we'll answer it for you. That is the whole fun of this. All right, we have Dan's got a question. I know we have the new text overlay, but is there an ability to do a comment overlay so I can get the comments the same spot every time? Yeah, this is one of those ones we still haven't gotten to. I really would like you can click here. So this is your comment, Dan, for example, and you can come up here to this little dude, and you can play around. That was a pencil, not an actual dude. You can play around with all of these things in here, right? So you have that. You can change the fonts of these and the colors and the effects and all of that stuff. And then when you're good to go, I guess I should probably show you a different. I want to change the background. Here we go. So if we changed it to like, let's say black. Let's go with a light gray. All right, save. Okay, so you can. What I do is tend to play around with them. So they do save up here in the scene, right? So like then you have the hidden and unhidden. So when I start a new broadcast, I come and like resize it when I'm planning, like before I've gone live. I click to make that visible, and then I move it to where I want it to be and make sure it looks the way I want it to look. And then it'll pick that up from the next comment. So if I now go to Hanks, right? Whoop. See, now it stays the same with all of those different settings. Hopefully that answers your question. If not, let me know. That one I've done a bunch, so I can answer. I can answer that one. We have Obs in the house hanging out. All right, I'm gonna fly over here while you guys are hanging out. Let me just jump out of live demo mode, so I'm not super distracting here. All right. So if we go over here, this is the Ecamm Live community, which most of you who are hanging out here know, but just in case, here it is. And we are working on doing a lot of updates in here, so hang in there with us. But we have all of our important stuff is here at the top in the featured section, so you can always find anything that's really urgent or important up here. We do have these guides that Facebook allows, so like up here, these are a bunch of different guides. These are really outdated right now, but I'm going to go through the process of removing them and updating them. So if you're hanging out here and you're like, what the heck, these are really outdated, we know we're getting there, but these will be updated soon. There's a bunch of different kinds of things that you can find up here at the top, and we're working to get them so that they're much more updated. But in the interim, you can search and find content here either by clicking in this popular topics and posts, or just by scrolling through, or up here in the featured section is where you can find everything that you need to know. And if you really just want to be able to get to the content faster and you don't want to see any of the communication within the community, you can always find all of our articles to read more and learn more here at support.ecamm.com. If you want to go through the full guide, like literally head to toe, everything you need to know about Ecamm, that's learn.ecamm.com. And you can also go over to videos.ecamm.com, and that will take you to the video hub. And same thing, it has this nice search bar at the top. This searches like not only the titles and the descriptions, but everything that's inside the video. So if you want to learn about, let's say, podcasting, right? You search it. It's going to take forever because our internet is just really, really terrible here. But this will populate, and fill out all of the videos that talk about podcasting. Of course, it's not going to want to today.
That's a great source for finding stuff, because if you're having a problem, just go to the video hub and type a couple of the words of what you're having with, camera, Stream Deck, anything like that, and it's going to find a ton of stuff. So it's a good place to start when you're having problems.
It's not going to right now, but it usually will. But or you can
It's
or you can scroll through all these different videos. We try to keep the the newest ones here in this section. So these are all of our like challenges and workshops we've been running so far this year. What's kind of cool about it is, so say you're like, okay, I really do want to dive into the Ecamm challenge. You can, click through over here. It'll tell you that there are 4 videos, so 4 media within this section, this Ecamm challenge section. It's going to take you 4 hours and 19 minutes to work through, because most of our videos are about an hour long. And so it'll give you, all the details of that, and then the actual flow. And what's kind of cool about this versus like a YouTube, for example, is that if you come in and you start working through video 1, and then you're like, I got to run to a meeting or got to grab something. When you come back, it'll tell you how far along in that video you are, or maybe it'll say you've done that one and you're on now video 2, so you can see your progress a little bit better. And there's none of the wonderful distractions that exist on YouTube. So this is a little bit better for learning and being able to work through some of our tutorial and workshop content.
Yep.
All right, scrolling through to see if I have any other questions. Dave was talking about the queue thing. Yeah, it's a really good point, and I'm glad that you brought that up, Paul. But really being able to know how to moderate and to think through the comments and to train your audience is really important. So if you're hosting a live stream, and even if you have 2 or 3 people on, getting people into the habit of how to ask you questions, when to ask you questions, like how to interact with each other. All of that is in many ways trained, right? Things that you're asking your audience to do, or things that you're showing your audience how to do. And the more you can kind of make it on brand and part of your personality, part of your show, or train your moderators to do the same when they're in the chat, it goes really a long way. So Paul's done a great job.
A lot frequently. The video or the can't talk to it's words are tough for me today too. Some of the streams are very topical, like the podcast. When we do the flow, it's podcast. So what we also try to do is discourage people from just asking general how does this work type questions in those, because other people are going to see it, and we try to repurpose some of the content too. So we're trying to keep things cleaned up so that people realize that when we're talking about a specific topic, that's all we're talking about. We're not answering questions on, how do you use the camera switcher and all that stuff. So I frequently will make a comment to people and tell them to post it on Facebook. I'm not trying to be Mr. Grumpy or, the bad guy here. I'm just trying to help educate people where to go to get an answer, because we're getting bigger. And as we're getting more and more people in, it's becoming a challenge, because we've had this very lovely little protected community now, and we're getting people coming in that don't necessarily understand the Ecamm world, or they've been in other groups that are a little bit more open to making comments. And so we're trying to retrain these people that, it may be good over there, but that doesn't work in this place. We do have a couple of rules that we want you to follow.
Yep.
Not a lot, but a couple.
Not a lot, but a couple. Yeah, and I mean, I think like, we obviously are doing a lot of live video content on a lot of different, topics, because you can do a lot with Ecamm, and we have all different kinds of users, and they have different groups of questions, right? So it would be frustrating if you were on a podcast, like The Flow, where we're talking about video podcasting and specifically about podcasting. If you were new and you were there to learn that topic, but we were spending most of our time answering questions about, I don't know, Macs, or like, how to set up a studio or something that wasn't really relevant to the podcasting audience, then we run the risk of antagonizing someone who's there just for that podcasting information. Or honestly, that, then really the kind of flow and the length of that episode just gets out of control and out of hand, because we're spending so much time with, a ton of different distractions. So
Exactly.
yeah, I think it's a really important, an important thing. I love it. I'm loving, this is very important. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Well, I think the only other thing we really need to cover, and then again, we're happy to take any questions that anyone has, but I did want to pop over. Let me just queue it up so we have it here. But wanted to cover Discord.
Yes.
Because Discord is one of those ones that sometimes can confuse people. So here we are over here. Let me just shoot here and choose Discord. Ta-da! All right. So this is Discord. I know it looks really scary, and many people, including me, find it looks really scary, and it's dark, so that's really creepy. But it's a really fun, friendly space, and it really is. And this is someone who grew up with Facebook and spent a ton of time on Facebook, both professionally and personally. I get that it's easier to be on Facebook, and that's fine. You can absolutely stay there. But I will say that the Ecamm Discord server is just it's a much easier way to be able to find and connect with people, as well as, get the information that you need, because the tool makes it easier. So Facebook does not make it easy for us to find and share and update information. So, we have a ton of these channels here you can see on the side, and there are ways, as Paul's itching to tell you, on how to unlock all this stuff. But it allows us, if you're like, oh, I'm like, I only care about, let's say, I only care about being part of the beta bunch. I only want to talk about the Ecamm beta and, share feature ideas and all of that, right? So you could just be only in this space and not be distracted by all the other information. You could get to know other users who are beta users a little bit better. That's difficult in the kind of bigger, more crowded space that is the Facebook group. So, and similarly, if you're like, oh, I just want to have some help with my audio, right? Like, you could swing over here into the audio space, be able to ask your questions here, know that the people that are here, care about audio the way that you care about audio. So I think it makes it nicer. But when you first join, and here, I'll let Paul go through, right? So when you first join, you're going to see like basically nothing, right?
Yeah, if you don't see anything in that left-hand column except for the welcome section, or I can't, but that first section,
yeah,
that means you haven't accepted the rules.
Yep.
So until you accept the rules, you're not going to see anything. And we have about 250 people that have joined the group that haven't accepted the rules yet, going back to when we created it.
This is the rules section. So again, we don't have a ton of them, but and there's 7 of them, and some of them are just like as obvious as "don't be a jerk," right? So like, phrased nicer, but really that's what we're saying, right? Like, don't be mean to anyone. You literally just have to come down and click on this green check mark. So which can be a little bit confusing for people to understand, because they're like, you want to type something down here. If you're a Facebook person, you're like, yes, I accept, or like you want you want to try to do kind of Facebook stuff. But to do that in here, you literally just have to check like these 703 other people. See all these ones here that are really cute, like the smiley face and the Ecamm. That doesn't actually help you accept the rules at all. You literally just have to click this one here. And once you've done that, then you need to come down here into the roles one. And so there's different emoji here that will give you access into these different channels that you might want to be in. So The fish, like a beta fish, ha ha ha, the fish, right, gives you access to the beta bunch. The money gives you access to the affiliates, right, and so forth and so on. So again, if you click the one that you like, or as many ones as you want that you like and want access to here at the bottom, that'll give you access to the right rules. And again, here, see like this adorable little like love face emoji. That doesn't do anything for you. That's just cute here at the bottom. That's not helping you at all. The check mark here is also not helping you in this instance. It's literally only these ones here that are applicable. And then these little medals are ones that you earn by being awesome. So that's Discord. I'm seeing a question coming in from Val, so I'm going to swing back over. Anything else on Discord, Paul, that we missed?
Can't think of anything. Yeah, it's just, be sure, even if you've joined in the past and you haven't done anything because you didn't see anything, go in there, accept the roles, add some roles. And the neat thing is the roles you can add. So if you want to be part of the beta, when we're doing a major announcement, you can join the beta. When the beta is over and you don't want to deal with that anymore, you just go into the roles section, unclick that item, and it's gone until you need it again. So you can come and go in those as much as you want.
You're in charge. And what's kind of cool too is that you're, in addition to being able to reply directly with folks back and forth, unlike Facebook, Discord also allows you the ability to connect with people here in this closed space, right? So if like I saw Paul hanging out in the in the community, I was on Facebook, I would have to like be Facebook friends with Paul in order to talk with him, which he may not want, or I may not want, or you don't want to see his pictures of his cat. We feel you, but over on Discord, you can connect and you can send direct messages back and forth without needing to kind of open up what might be a personal space for you on Facebook. You don't have to do that on Discord in order to be able to connect and get to know people better, which I just think is nicer for us, if you don't want to be able to cross those lines, or you want to keep a little bit of space between the two. So.
And one of the other neat things that's in Descript is there's rooms that you can hop into. You can make them a workroom. If you're working on a project or you want some help with something, you can go over to Descript, go into one of those rooms. You can share your camera. People can come in. You can have a conversation, or if you meet up with somebody and you want to do a verbal chat, you can hop into one of those groups, and it's a much more, open thing that you can talk with people, bring some people together that work on stuff or discuss, I'm trying to do this, blah, 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 what do you think? It's a great place to do those kinds of things.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Val's got some great questions coming in. So Obs always wants to see your cat pictures. Me too, but not everyone. So, same with me and my chicken pictures. Not everyone wants to see them, right? So.
You're safe from his tail. He's asleep right now.
Oh no, let's not wake him. All right, Val wants to know a little bit more about Descript and Ecamm, which I am happy to chat about. So for those of you who don't know what Descript is yet, it is a video editing and transcription tool, and it has a lot of really cool, almost magical features within it. So I will say that we at Ecamm, and I, even personally, I use Descript as my entire post-production workflow. So, and I like when I'm by myself, I don't have budget or time or skill set to be diving into a lot of the video editing or hiring a video editor. So I will hit that edit and Descript button that comes up at the end of my live streams or my recorded videos, and then that opens up my video in Descript, and it populates. I can show you one of my recent ones. Let me open it and see. Let's cross your fingers. Let's hope nothing goes down if I try to open Descript over here. All right, let me just shoot over here. I'll go back to my.
Tell Doc not to use too much internet over there where he's sitting.
I know, yeah. Doc is eating his sandwich. He's in sandwich mode. All right, so let's see. You're in sandwich mode. Oh, he's watching. He's watching. We're insulting him. He's watching. All right. All right, Val. So this is what my Descript looks like. So, for example, Doc did this awesome road video where he walked through all the new road products when he was at NAB. All right, so this is what it looks like when it comes up, right? So you have the video here on one side, and then you have the transcript on the other. And it really, is as easy, and this auto-populates when you hit that edit and Descript button, or if you open Description, drag and drop a video file into it. Same with an audio file, but none of us are audio-only people here in the Ecamm fam, so with your video. And then what's cool about it is like it's literally similar to what you would see in like a Google Doc or a Word document. You can highlight it, so this, and see all of the different text. So you can really easily see all of your video points, and you can see as I'm kind of clicking through, you can see that the video on the other side is showing us the different places where it's at. So what I do first is I name it. And this will pull automatically if the video file is named properly, but if you're just sending it directly over from a live stream, you might have to update this. And then you can come in here and choose speakers. This will auto-detect speakers for you if you want to do that instead, which saves me a ton of time. I just, I'm like, hey, this is the podcast. It's going to be always Doc, Katie, and Luis. So, identify which of us is which, and it'll add these. And you can always come in here and change these. So I can say like, oh, shoot, I didn't mean Doc. This is actually Ryan. You screwed it up. Or if I wanted to add someone new, if I wanted to come in and be like, hey, actually, this was me talking, I can just add me as a speaker and see that it automatically changes. And then if I wanted to, what's kind of cool here, so let's say Ryan said something genius here. So he's talking about how you can plug something in, right? So I can highlight this, okay? And then I would come up here to the, I guess you can't see this here. Anyway, in the Descript menu, you would go up to the top, and you go to the Edit section, and you would click Duplicate to New Composition. Oh, yeah, you can see that. Great. So what that's going to do is that clips just this little 55-second clip, right? And now I can go over here and into the clip, and this is just this clip. So I can then share that, out through social media. You can do things like add captions on top of it. So it really makes it super, super easy for you to edit everything and grab. I also use it, I take the transcript and so see if I go back to the main one. I go over here, just up to publish, and then I would select, export, and then subtitles, right? So I can just hit export, and that'll pull that SRT subtitles file that I've cleaned up within Descript. And I can use that to upload into YouTube as my closed captioning. I can do a lot with that. I can send that as, show notes or transcripts over to a podcast if you're using a podcast. I also use it to grab, and Paul does this a ton for us. He's become super proficient at it. But I use it to, and he uses it to do things like make chapters, right? So if you're watching this video, I can, what I literally did was say, okay, so here, I clicked here, right? He starts talking about the streamer X. I look down here, and I'm like, okay, that's the 30-second mark. So my chapter then is like, 00:30 seconds, and now we're talking about the streamer X. And then I'm going to, keep scrolling through the video, and I can just eyeball it and say, okay, now he's talking about Ecamm, so that's at the 1 minute 32 second. So that, that builds my chapters as well pretty quickly and easily for me.
The other thing, a lot of what Katie does is pre-production or pre-editing, and that getting it ready for, maybe sending it over to Luis to do some stuff or, to get edited. If a lot of the stuff that I'm doing with the Ecamm videos is they're posted on YouTube already. So I'm going in, pulling them, and I'm pulling chapters and making corrections to the closed captioning file, to the transcript. Mm-hmm. What you have to be careful when you're doing post editing after it's already posted up and you're just going in as tweaking, you cannot make major changes to that transcript file. You can't chop out the ums and the ahs and all that stuff, because what you start doing is you're starting to change the timing of the video, because when you take words out in Descript, it's actually editing the video and taking that section out.
Yep.
So what happens is by the time you get all done and you've exported your SRT file and you've loaded it into YouTube, if you go to the end of the YouTube video and you start watching it, your captions are like way off. I mean, I've seen it, minutes off. So you have to be very careful when you're editing a file post-production that you don't mess up the captions completely. And I always recommend, if you're doing that and you post your captions up to YouTube, go up to YouTube, play the video, but go all the way to the end and then just watch to see if things match up, because you may have to go back and tweak some stuff.
Yeah, and one workaround we found for that was like if you know that you're going to be using Descript to edit the video, so like you really are going to cut some sections out, or you really want to do some more like aggressive cleanup here on this file, so you can see there's ums and ahs, and I've been trying to leave more in these days, honestly, because I think it makes it flow a little bit better and feel more realistic. But if you really are wanting to take all of those out, you can just come back up here to the top, publish, right? Here again, and then click export, and you can export that video back out. So you can finish your editing in Descript, export the video, and then upload that to YouTube with that SRT file, those captions, and then it'll match. So it really comes down to like what your workflow looks like. But I really I use this to build blog posts. I use it to populate those closed captions. I use it to pull out short video clips that we use on all the different social platforms. One thing I don't do yet, but I'm going to start doing, is that you can actually build out templates within this. So Jeff C. was talking yesterday or the day before at Leap Into Live Selling about how he has built out like really cool like vertical video templates within here that that he just has the template set up. So he just like drags the video in and it populates the template. So I think there's a lot more potential even beyond what I'm doing, but it saves me hours and hours and hours of time, and I feel capable and confident in this software, so I don't need to worry about kind of all of the other details of some of the more complicated.
Yeah. And if you're just starting out editing video and stuff like that, you don't want to get into too crazy of stuff, or you don't want to learn Final Cut Pro or something. This is an excellent. I mean, you can do a heck of a lot of stuff in Descript, and then down the road, if you decide you want to go bigger. You can go into something like Final Cut Pro, but Descript has a lot of features and functionality in it, and they keep adding stuff. So it's a pretty good tool.
Yeah, it's a great tool, and it really does make it pretty easy. And again, like I'm using probably like a fourth of their feature set, but it does a lot for what for what I'm doing. I actually often don't even. It has a feature where you can add what they call fancy captions, so like you can add kind of custom branded captions onto it, and I rarely even do that, because for the most part, once you have that video and it's cleaned up and it looks and sounds the way that you want, then it's pretty easy to use, like Instagram's built-in caption tool or some of those other things, which I think sometimes can be a little bit better for algorithms than using the built-in, but it's an option for sure. Val, we do still have a discount for Descript. I think it's still in the Ecamm perks page.
It's in the perks.
Yeah, you go to ecamm.com/blog/perks. And then the password is ecammfamperks. And you'll be able to grab that. If for whatever reason you have any issues, let us know, and I'm happy to follow up. Yeah, I see Russ and Tatiana are both Final Cut Pro people, so I'm sure it's difficult if you're used to Final Cut Pro to jump into something that's a little bit simpler. But for anyone else that's kind of been in the like text, copywriting or any kind of writing, I think it's just easier for me to be able to eyeball it, right? Because we just record and stream so much video that sometimes I'm like, like I know that somewhere in this video, Doc is going to talk about, the Streamer X, and I just want to find that clip to be able to share that out. Sometimes I don't have time to sit down and watch the whole, 8-minute, 10-minute, whatever video. I mean, even if it's 5 minutes, I'm just like, I just need that clip now. Like I need to just get it out. This makes it much faster. I can open it up. I can do a find, Command F to be able to type in Streamer X, pulls up exactly where it is. I can cut it and be able to get that video clip out quickly. So, other than Ecamm, this is my favorite software.
Yeah, and it's really great as a first step into going into Final Cut Pro, because all those ums and ahs, it will go in and automatically find those. And if you want to take all those out, it will get rid of those. It shortens up the video. Literally, it edits the video, takes those out, and then you can take that file and then move it over to Final Cut Pro. So it comes in handy as a first step before you go over to Final Cut Pro, because it will take all that stuff out rather than you having to go in and find them and tweak and cut and all that stuff. It's a pretty powerful program.
Yeah. Val's killing it with the question. So this one's for you, Paul. Can you share your experience with Crisp?
Yeah, I love Crisp. I live in a very noisy space, and as summer gets, I have a in-room air conditioning unit that will start running. And if it wasn't for Crisp, I would not be able to do any kind of broadcasting or recording videos or anything. Recently, I had a problem with Crisp, and I'm not exactly sure what I did, but I thought it was a problem with Crisp itself, and it wasn't. Something actually got messed up on my Rodecaster Pro with the routing, which I need to sort out.
Oh no.
But Crisp wasn't working. So what I had to do today to do this is I'm using my MV7 mic, and I'm not using my Rodecaster Pro at all because it's now working with Crisp. So yeah, I thought I was having a major problem with either the update that we recently had or something, but it wasn't that. It's actually something with the routing on my Rodecaster Pro that I need to figure out next. But Crisp is great. I mean, you shouldn't be able to hear this. I have a piece of paper, and I'm clinching it. You should not have been able to hear any of that.
We heard that. We heard that, unfortunately.
Did you?
I did, yeah.
Then Crisp
Doc's
is not working.
Doc is not a fan, but there are a bunch of others.
We
out there
tested it.
too.
We tested it last night and it worked. But I mean, one of the things in that example, if Crisp was actually working, I guess I've got a bigger problem. But if Crisp was working, I could sit there with that piece of paper and crackle it. You would not hear that at all.
Yeah, we've heard. Luis uses it as well, and he has definitely played some of the differences between crisp on and crisp off, and it was pretty staggering. So it does work really well. There's some other post production ones too, so they're not doing it while you are live streaming or while you're recording the video, but Auphonic, right? Doc was talking about that one earlier. Is fantastic. Adobe has a free one as well for podcasters. I can't remember the link offhand for that one. But you can pretty podcast by itself, podcast.adobe.com you can just literally drag and drop your audio file in there and it'll clean it up. So there's a bunch of different tools out there to kind of help if you are in a space that's a little bit noisier, or if you just don't have if you're like me and don't have those like solid editing skills. There are some tools out there to make the whole process a lot easier.
It's funny because last night Valerie and I got everything set up and I called Valerie and we were doing testing and all this stuff and it worked perfectly last night because we did the paper test and all this. It's like, make me a liar today. Oh
yeah, that's how it goes. Oh, there it is. Podcast.adobe or missing.com. Podcast.adobe.com/enhance. Oh, Doc's going to edit it. Doc's got it. He's going to edit it. Hey, Richard, how's it going? Well, we won't stand too much longer because we're kind of delirious, or at least I am. Paul's looking and sounding great.
Yes.
I'm dragging, but I do want to quickly.
It's all a show.
Right? It's all the show. I know I'm probably talking to the same like 20 people over and over again as we say this, but for you diehard groupies that are hanging out with us here today, just a reminder that we are doing our own in-person event, which you have all been asking for, happening here in October 11, 12, and 13 in Amesbury, Massachusetts, which is about 45 minutes outside of Boston, north of Boston. And it is called Creator Camp. It's going to be a ton of fun. I don't even want to know how many events we went to last year. We went to like what felt like all of the events last year, and the main feedback that we got from all of those events was, this was fantastic, but what we really enjoyed the most was just the hallway track, or seeing people, or the dinners, or the fun afterwards. So this event is really for all of you. It's really focused on not that we're not bringing great hands-on workshops and sessions and content for you to work through, but really it's much more about getting people together into smaller groups. We're going to break into smaller groups and really being able to learn together and get to know each other better and spend time together in a really fun, collaborative way. So this is going to be an awesome event. We've been working really hard at it. If you want to get on the wait list, today is the last day for the wait list, and then tomorrow we've been holding back and slowly moving people off the wait list, but tomorrow it's going to be a free for all. We're open it up to everyone on the wait list first, and then it's going to roll out to everyone else. We only have 100 spots. We've already filled about 40 of them, so you do the math, but there's only a few spaces left, and we really want to see everyone there. It makes it much more fun when everyone is all together.
I can't wait to meet everybody.
Yeah, Val, you're on the list. I see your name there. I think you have one step left, Val, but you're right there. You're in. Obs is going to be there. Hank is going to be there. Paul, Doc, and I. We have, oh my gosh, just such a fun group of people. Obviously, Ken and Glenn, our whole Ecamm team. yeah, Leslie, Samuel, Luria, Mary Lou, Stephanie, Jill. The list goes on and on of just some absolutely incredible people. Rod Balsabas just signed on last night. We have Kirk. We have just a great group of people coming, and you will all be really excited about the fact that I have been spending all of the time talking with all of our people who are all like, how can I help? How can I speak? How can I be involved? And I'm like, nope. All of you are just coming to spend time with each other. So I think it's going to be a really fun opportunity if you've been like really wanting to get to know some of your favorite creators a little bit better. This is the time and place because we are making them just be with all of you and with each other. So I think that'll be really fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's totally hands-on. It's not necessarily, it's no lecture. It's all
no lectures.
work together.
No lectures, only learning together. We have Laura Davidson from Shore is going to be doing an audio workshop here in this space, which will be a huge help because we have so many audio issues in this space. So we'll ask all the questions. I think it's going to be fantastic. Doc's going to be drinking all the whiskey. It'll be great.
And there's a few things coming up in May, isn't there, too?
We have a lot of stuff on the calendar. We're still moving a couple of things around, but we have a lot more workshops. We are going to be off-site as a team. We are exhibiting at Pat Flynn's Card Party Pokemon Conference, which we're so excited about. So we're going to learn all about Pokemon. It's going to be a blast. We'll do a lot of, I'm sure, live streams from our space there. That's in June. We have a Zoom
Lots of
workshop
fun
with
stuff coming.
Luria coming up. We are doing a workshop with Bradley, all about how to use Keynote to make really fantastic Ecamm presentations and streams. Yeah, we have Mario, who spoke at Leap yesterday or the day before. He's going to be doing one all about brand sponsorship, so kind of an extension of what he talked about at Leap, which I think is going to be huge for all of you to try to get some of those brand deals. Yeah, I'm trying to think off the top of my head what else we have. We have a lot. We have a lot planned, and if you've been collecting your certificates, there's some fun stuff for everyone who's got who's hanging on to all those digital certificates. We're going to get some fun gamification with those as well. So yeah, it should be good. I'm loving all the comments. Guys, way to bring some awesome questions today. Well, we will see you
Thanks,
in
everybody.
the community or in the Discord or by email or in person.
Yes.
So soon, but thanks for
I know
hanging out,
it's hard to
Paul.
believe. I think I've been in the group for like almost 3 years now,
Yeah.
and
I
I've
believe
met one person live out of everybody,
this'll
and I
be
feel
like-
like everybody's like my family. But so this is going to be a lot of fun.
We can
It's
get
like,
to
you're
harass
real.
Paul in real life as a real person. I know, yeah. I know. I keep thinking that you were there with us at Social Media Marketing World, but you weren't. Yeah. Yeah,
No,
that's gonna be
everybody
awesome.
needs to come and protect me from Doc.
We're gonna get you a bubble so that he can't do anything. Paul is real. Paul is real. No.
I've
Paul
been
is an
pestering
AI.
so
Look
much,
how
he's gotta
good
find
AI
it.
has gotten you guys.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Thanks for hanging out, Maggie. We appreciate you. All right, we're gonna wrap.
Thanks,
but
everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Keep those questions coming. Keep an eye out for updates in the Facebook group. I know I owe everyone a ton of new guides, so I'll clean house there and get some updated resources in. But you know where to find us if any questions come up. We are accessible and happy to chat. Doc and Paul is an OI. Too funny. All right, everyone. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, everyone, for watching. We will see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care, everybody. Bye.